art, artist, thoughts, philosophy, biography. Leonardo da Vinci was a brilliant Renaissance artist and thinker, best known for his masterpieces like the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper. He was not only a gifted painter but also a scientist, inventor, and engineer whose curiosity and creativity knew no bounds. His works combined art and science in ways that were far ahead for his time, making him a lasting symbol of human genuine and pursuit for knowledge. Leonardo da Vinci, properly named Leonardo DiCaprio da Vinci, was born on 15 April 1452 in or close to the Tuscan hill town of Vinci, Italy, 20 miles from Florence. He was born out of wedlock to Piero da Vinci, a Florentine legal notary, and Caterina de' Medici from the lower class. It remains uncertain why Leonardo was born. The traditional account from a local oral tradition recorded by the historian Emmanuel Repeti is that he was born in Ancient. In the mid-1460s, Leonardo's family moved to Florence, which at the time was a center of Christian humanist thoughts and culture. Around the age of 14, he became a garçon studio boy in the workshop of Andrea del Verrocchio, who was the leading Florentine painter and sculptor of this time. This was about the time of the death of Verrocchio's master, the great sculptor Donatello. Leonardo became an appearance by the age of 17 and remained in training for 7 years. Other famous painters appreciated in the workshop of associated with the includes Ghirlandaio, Perugino, Botticelli, and Lorenzo di Credi. Leonardo was exposed to both theoretical training and a wide range of technical skills, including drafting, chemistry, metallurgy, metal working, plaster casting, leather working, machines, and woodworks, as well as the artist skills of drawing, painting, sculpturing, and modeling. Leonardo was a contemporary of Botticelli, Ghirlandaio, and Perugino, who were all slightly older than he was. He would have met them at the workshop of Verrocchio's or at the Platonic Academy of the Medici. Florence was much of the paintings in Verrocchio's workshop was done by these assistants. According to Vasari, Leonardo collaborated with the Verrocchios of this baptism of Christ, painting the young angel holding Jesus' robe with skill no far superior to his master's, that Verrocchio's purportedly put down his brush and never painted again. The new technique of oil paint was applied to areas of the most temperate works, including the landscape, the rock seen through the brown mountain streams, and much of Jesus' figure, indicating Leonardo's hand. Additionally, Leonardo may have been a model for two works by Verrocchio's, the bronze statues of David in the Bergoglio's and the Archangel Raphael in Tobias and the Angel. Vasari tells a story of Leonardo as a very young man. A local presence made himself a round buckler sheets and requested that Sir Piero have his painted for him. Leonardo, inspired by the story of Medusa, responded with a painting of a monster spiting fire that was so terrifying that his father bought a different shield to give to the peasants and sold Leonardo to a Florentine art dealers for 100 ducats, who in turn sold it to the Duke of Milan. By 1472, at the age of 20, Leonardo qualified as a master in the Guild of St. Luke, the Guild of Artists and Doctors of Medicine. But even after his father set him up in his own workshop, his attachment to the Verrocchio was such that he continued to collaborate and live with him. Leonardo's earliest known dated work is a 1473 pen and ink drawing of the Arno Valley. According to Vasari, the young Leonardo was the first to suggest making the Arno River a navigable channel between Florence and Pisa. In January 1478, Leonardo received an independent commission to paint an altarpiece of the chapel of Saint Bernard in the Florentine town hall, the Palazzo della Signoria, an indication of his independence from Verrocchio's studio. An anonymous early biographer known as Anonimio Gadiano claims that in 1480 Leonardo was living with the Medici and often worked in the garden of the Piazza San Marco, Florence, where a new Platonic Academy of artists, poets, and philosophers organized by the Medici met. In March 1481, he received a commission from the monks of Saint Donato in Scoptio, the adoration of the Magi. Neither of these initial commissions were completed, being abandoned when Leonardo went to offer his services to Duke of Milan Ludovico Sforza. Leonardo wrote Sforza a letter which described the diverse things that he could achieve in the fields of engineering and weapon design, and mentioned that he could paint. He brought with him a silver string instrument, either a lute or lyre, in the form of a horse head. Leonardo worked in Milan from 1482 until 1499. He was commissioned to paint the Virgin of the Rocks and the Confraternity of the Immaculate Conception and the Last Supper for the monastery of Santa Maria delle Grazie. In the springs of 1485, Leonardo traveled to Hungary to meet King Matthias Corvinus and was commissioned by him to paint a Madonna. In 1490, he was called as a consultant together with Francisco di Giorgio Maitini for the building site of the Cathedral of Pavia, and was struck by the equestrian statue of Regisol, of which he left a sketch. Leonardo was employed on many of the other projects of Forza, such as preparation of loads and paganants or special occasions, a drawing of the wooden model for a competition to design the cupola of Milan Cathedral, and a model of a huge equestrian monument of Ludovico's parishioners Francisco Forza. These would have surpassed in size the only two large equestrian statues of the Renaissance, Donatello's Gattameleta in Padua and Verrocchio's Bartolomeo Collegno in Venice, and became known as the Grand Cavallo. Leonardo completed a model for the horse and made detailed plans for its casting, but in November 1494, Ludovico gave the metal to his brother-in-law to be used for a cannon to defend the city from the Charles VII of France. When Ludovico Sforza was overthrown by France in 1500 AD, Leonardo fled Milan for Venice, accompanied by his assistant Salai and friend, the mathematician Luca Pacioli. In Venice, Leonardo was employed as a military architect and engineer. Leonardo had left Borgia service and returned to Florence by early 1503 AD, where he rejoined the Guild of Saint Luke on 18 October of that year. By the same month, Leonardo had begun working on a portrait of Lisa del Giocondo, the model for the Mona Lisa, which he would continue working on until his twilight years. In January 1504 AD, he was part of a committee formed to recommended where Michelangelo's statue of David should be placed. Leonardo died at Clausewitz on 2 May 1519 at the age of 67, possibly of a stroke. Vasari states that in his last days, Leonardo sent for a priest to make his confession and to receive the Holy Sacrament.